Hello everyone and welcome to this video. In today's video, I'm going to teach you guys how you can build up your email list by creating pop-ups on your website that actually tells users to submit their emails to you in order to join your email list, and then they will receive free newsletters from you. And I'm also going to teach you how you can create slide-ins on your website to just notify people of changes you have on your website or new products or offers that you might have for them. And thirdly, we're going to be creating embeds on our website today, and embed is just going to either collect emails from your users or also notify your users of any new product you have or any new offer you have for them, or just any informational offer that you have for your users. And lastly, we're going to create social embeds. This one is just going to allow users easily share your content to their own followers or fans on their social media platform that you activated in this plugin. So before we move on, let me just quickly show you a demo of what we're going to be designing today. So by the time we just refresh this website, you can see that this pop-up came up immediately. So there are several settings you can use to control the visibility option of this pop-up. So you can actually make it show up immediately, or you can make it show up after a specified period of time, or you can also make it show up whenever they've scrolled to a particular percentage on your website. And also you can make it show up whenever they are about to leave your website. So let me show you what I'm talking about. If I visit a post right now, so by the time we visit this post, we can see that the pop-up came up immediately. And also we should try to scroll to the bottom, and for this website I made it 90%. By the time they scroll to the 90% of this page, the pop-up is also going to come up again, and this is it right here. And by the time they also want to close this tab, the pop-up is going to come up also. And right here on this same page, we can see this embed that we have right here. So this freebies for you widget right here is actually an embed that I created, and we're going to learn how we can create something similar to this in this tutorial also. And you can see this at this left hand side here. This is the social sharing icon, so they can either share it to Facebook, Twitter, or their emails. So you can also add some other social media platform right here, but for this tutorial I added just these three. And enough of talking, let's just get down into the business of today. So while logged in into your admin dashboard, come down to plugins and select add new. So here we're going to search for a plugin called Osu, and we're going to install the plugin and also activate the plugin. So after we've successfully installed and activated the plugin, we're going to see another option here that says Osu. So we're going to click on the dashboard option, and here is the dashboard where we can manage everything concerning this plugin. So we can see our average conversion rates, total conversions, and the most conversions, and every other thing you need to learn about this plugin also. So first thing we need to do is to create a pop-up. Okay, so I have a demo pop-up here that I was creating. I'm just going to delete this. So let's click on this create button here. Okay, so we can create two types of pop-up. We can create a pop-up to receive emails, and we can create a pop-up to send information in order to promote our offers with call to action. For this tutorial, we're going to be using email opt-in, but I'm still going to show you how to create this second type of pop-up too. I'm just going to change the name and use the name they gave us in the placeholder, which says, and then I'm going to click on choose templates. Now they have 18 templates designed for you to use, and these templates are professionally designed, and you can also decide to start from scratch, but I'm just going to pick a template here and just work with it straight away. So for this tutorial, I'm going to choose this newsletter sign up. Alright, so we can start designing everything regarding these templates that we just picked. So we can change the title, we can change the image, and then we can change the contents and every other thing concerning this plugin. So first thing, let's check the preview. And this is how the template looks like on desktop version rather, and this is how it looks like on the mobile version. So we can just cut this and let's start editing this template. So it says newsletter sign up, and then we're going to change it to something like, and also you can decide to change the featured image, but for this tutorial I'm going to leave it as it is. And then you can also decide to change the main content, which says subscribe to our weekly newsletter below and never miss the latest product or an exclusive offer. So I'm just going to change and never miss any updates. So let's click on preview. Alright, so we're going to move on. So we have this call to action button here, and for this tutorial we're not going to use any call to action, and we're going to move down to the next option. So this is never see this again link. I'm going to advise you to leave this on so they can actually decide not to see this pop up again. But you can change this text to thanks, I'm not interested. You can use something else that will make them want to subscribe to your email, to your newsletter rather. So for this tutorial, I'm just going to leave it as it is, and then we're going to move on to the next section that says emails. Okay, here we can decide to receive more details from your users, but in the default setting, you can just receive the email. So to receive more than an email, you can just select this, and then you can choose other things you want to receive from your users. But I'm going to advise you to just receive the email only, because people tend to be reluctant when they have to put in their name or their phone number or any other private information about them. So I'm just going to advise you to collect their emails only. And then we're going to leave this text as it is. But if you want to change this text, you can click on this icon here and edit field. So you can edit the button text to something else and also change the error message to another thing entirely. So I'm just going to leave everything as it is. And then moving on to the submission behavior, what do you want to happen when they successfully submit their email? Okay, we're just going to leave it as it is, and we're going to have a success message that says, thank you for joining our newsletter. And do you want the success message to automatically close itself? We're going to leave it at never. But if you want the success message to automatically close after a specified time, you can select the second option and then specify the time that you want this success message to automatically close. But I'm just going to leave it as never. Alright, so let me just show you the second option that says redirect. So if you're going to use this option, whenever they successfully submit their email, they're going to be redirected to another page that you're going to put the link here. So maybe it's a thank you page, maybe it's a page to get access to something you promised them whenever they sign up for your newsletter. And you can also choose the redirection option. Do you want to redirect on the same tab? Do you want to redirect on new tab and show a thank you message on the same page they are currently? Or do you want to redirect on a new tab and hide the module on the current page they are? So you can either choose the one that is going to work best for you. But I'm going to leave it as success message. And then under success message, you have another option that says enable auto downloadable file after submission. So let's say if you promise them they're going to get some sort of ebooks or freebies, some digital products whenever they submit their email and then sign up for your newsletter, you can tick this option and then add the file that they can download right here. So for this tutorial, I'm not going to be using this option, so I'm just going to leave it as it is. And then finally, under the email section, you can send an automated email to the subscribers after they have subscribed. So this can also contain something that you've promised them, that maybe when they subscribe to your newsletter, they're going to get an ebook for free, or they're going to get a template for free or something else for free. So you can either use the default option available by this plugin, or you can use a third-party email marketing software to do this. And I'm going to advise you to use a third-party email marketing software to actually carry out this current feature here. So using that is going to be more efficient for you, and then it's going to be better. That's just my own opinion. But if you want to use this plugin to send automated emails, once they subscribe to your newsletter, you can just activate this, and then you're going to set the recipients, which is this email, just leave it as it is, and you can change this email copy subject to maybe thank you for signing up, and then you can include your email button here. So this is how you can just customize the automated email they get whenever they subscribe to your newsletter. And you can decide the time when the email is going to be sent to your users. Maybe it is instantly, maybe you're going to delay it for about few seconds or few minutes or hours or days, or maybe you're just going to schedule it for some certain period of time. So I'm just going to untick this option. We're not going to be using automated emails in this tutorial. And then let's move on to integrations. Alright, so on a default mode, this plugin saves all your email, the email list you have. It saves it into a local list on this plugin. And one thing you can also do is to integrate third-party applications like MailChimp or Sendinblue to this plugin. So once they subscribe to your newsletter, they will be automatically added to your third-party email marketing software. So I'm going to advise you integrate this right now. So we're just going to do one thing. We're going to right click on this and then open this in a new tab. And in this tutorial, I'm going to show you how you can integrate MailChimp and also integrate Sendinblue. So currently we have 21 applications available for you to use, but we're going to use that too as an example in this tutorial. So I'm going to click on this plus icon here beside MailChimp, and it's going to ask us for our API key. So to get this API key, I'll just assume you already know about MailChimp and how it works. But just in case if you don't know how MailChimp works, you can just sign up for an account and then follow my footsteps. So one thing you're going to do now is to visit MailChimp. So right inside your dashboard, you're going to click on your name down here and then select profile. So right here under extras, we're going to click on these API keys, and this is where we're going to be able to create an API key for our MailChimp account. So we're going to click on create a key, and then our key has been created. So we're just going to copy this key and then come down to Ozu and paste the key right here. So we're going to click on connect, and also you can use an identifier. It says it helps you to distinguish your integrations if you have connected to the multiple accounts of this integration. So you can just add something like MailChimp, and then we're going to connect this. Okay, it says there was an issue processing your request, please reload the page. So we're going to reload the page right now, and let's try again. So we're going to click on this plus icon. I'm going to paste the API key and I'm going to connect. Alright, it says MailChimp has been successfully connected. So that's how you can connect your MailChimp. You can integrate your MailChimp with this plugin. So next thing, let's check. Let's connect Sendinblue. So we're going to visit sendinblue.com now. So right here at this top right corner, I'm going to select SMTP and API. Alright, so here I'm going to create my new API key by clicking on this blue button here, and then you can give it a name and then generate your key. So I'm going to advise you to copy this key and save it somewhere else because of security reasons. They won't show you this key again. So we're going to copy this key and then we're going to click on OK. So make sure you save it somewhere secure. So you can only see these asterisks. They're not going to show you this key again forever. So under integrations, we're going to come down here and select Sendinblue, and I'm going to paste the API key here and connect. Alright, we've successfully integrated Sendinblue into this plugin also. Now let's go back to our pop-up, save drafts, and then let's refresh this page. Alright, so we see that we have these two applications available to be connected. So we can just click this plus icon, and then we can choose the accounts we want to add. These accounts, click on continue, and then we're going to choose the email list we have in our MailChimp that want to connect to this plugin, and then we're going to click on continue. And then you can use tags to separate your subscribers. Probably you have some subscribers that are interested in getting let's say SEO tips. Some are interested in getting web design tips. You can use tags to separate them, but for this tutorial we're not going to be using tags, so we're just going to click on continue. Alright, so we successfully connected MailChimp, and let's do the same for Sendinblue. Okay, so we've successfully connected both MailChimp and Sendinblue to this plugin, to this form rather, to this pop-up. Now, integration behavior: allow already subscribed users to submit the form. I'm just going to disallow, and then the error message is going to be this email is already subscribed. So they're going to know that, okay, I've been subscribed to this email, probably somewhere else. So you don't need to actually submit your email again. Now moving on to the appearance. Okay, so we are using a template, and this template has been designed professionally. So you don't have anything that serious to do when it comes to design of these templates. But in case you just want to modify anything around, so you can just play around with everything here. You can change the featured image you can change the alignment for the featured image. You can change the size. You can change the fitting and position. And also for the form, you can decide to play around with everything. And also decide to change the fonts for the, you can decide to change the fonts for the pop-up. And I'm just going to leave everything as it is. This plugin, this template has been designed professionally, and I think it is very okay. So let's preview it, and you can see what I'm talking about. So I think it's okay like this. There's nothing much you need to do, and so let's just move on to the next option here. So let's see everything here, and let's move on to the visibility settings. Now there are some certain rules that you can add for this plugin in order for it to be visible. So let me just show you a quick overview of how you can add some conditions to this plugin. And if you want to have an in-depth look, you can click on this link to watch a video on how this particular option works. So this says show, meaning show this pop-up when all of the following conditions match. Now let us add a condition for this pop-up. So we're going to click on add condition. So we're going to use posts. Okay, we're going to use only posts for this tutorial, and I'm going to add condition. Now what we just simply did is this: show this pop-up when all the following conditions match. So whenever a user is on our post page, make sure you show this pop-up. So this is what we just told the plugin. This is just basically what we told the plugin to do. So the plugin is only going to show this pop-up whenever somebody visits our post page, or the person is reading a post on our website. Now there are other settings we can do. Now we can now decide to show this pop-up on every post on our website except some certain posts. So if you want to do that option, you want to choose to use this option, you're going to choose this first one, and then by the time you start typing the name of the post you do not want this pop-up to appear on, you're going to see it here, and then you can select it. And also you can change this to only show these pop-ups on this post. So you can also type in the name of the post there. On this website it is blank. I don't have any posts to be able to show you a demo of how this works. So you can just watch this video right here and then follow the settings, and this is how it basically works. This condition and visibility rules, this is how it works. And let's just try to see other conditions available. So you can also show these pop-ups based on the pages, landing pages, templates, and several, like visitors country. That is if you're running a promotion based on a location of your users, of your website users, and several options, several conditions available for you to use. So I'm just going to use this post as an example. Now let's move on to the next section. So the last section here says behavior. You can either schedule this pop-up to start at a particular date. So let's click on this schedule. So you can choose the pop-up to start between a particular date and then end on a particular date. So this is good for you if you're running something like a promotion that you want it to start. Maybe the promotion is going to start from Monday to Friday. So you can either schedule the plugin to display those pop-ups on that particular day only. And also you can choose the day the pop-up is going to be active. If you want it to be active every day, or you want it to be active from one particular time to another time, or you want it to be active on a selected day. Maybe it's going to be active on Monday, but it's not going to be active on Friday. So you can choose this option here. But for this tutorial, we're just going to leave it as it is, because we want to receive emails. We want people to sign up for our newsletter every single day, every single minute, every single hour, every single seconds. So we're just going to leave it as it is. We're not going to add any scheduling option here. So pop-up trigger, this is what is going to determine when the pop-up is going to show up on your website. Now you can either show up the pop-up, you can use the time option. So you can either show up the pop-up instantly when somebody visits your website, and then we have other options too that says scroll. Now for this scroll, this is actually when they visit your website and then they've scrolled to a particular page, like a particular percentage on your page, they're going to see the pop-up. So let's say they've been scrolling from the beginning of your own page, and then they're about to get to the end, which is going to be around 80%. You can just set it here that the pop-up is going to appear. And also we have another one that says exit intent, which is when this one works for desktop. When they're about to click on this close tab, this pop-up is going to display immediately. So we can just leave this one also, and let's change this to about 90%. and also ad block. Your pop-up will be triggered whenever an ad block is detected in your visitor's browser. So we're just going to disable this. And for this one also, I think if you should use 0 seconds, it's going to, okay, if you use 0 seconds, it's going to appear immediately whenever they visit your website. So let's just leave it as it is. Let's leave it as 0 seconds. Okay, now moving on to the next section under this behavior, we have animation. So pop-up entrance animation, you can decide to choose from several animations here. Now, additional closing method. Do you want the pop-up to auto close? I'm going to advise you not to auto close the pop-up, just leave it as it is. Pop-up, close pop-up when clicked outside. So meaning that let's check preview. So if somebody should visit our website and then the pop-up appears, do you want the pop-up to be closed whenever they clicked outside this box like this? So if you want that to happen, you can just tick this option. So now let's move on to the closing behavior. Do you want the pop-up to be closed when the visitor click on the X icon? Okay, we can just tick this also. And then this second option, pop-up closed by clicking outside of the pop-up. We've actually selected this option here, but I don't really know, maybe this is some sort of repetition because I think they actually do the same thing. Alright, so whenever a user closes the pop-up, what you want to happen, you can either keep on showing the pop-up. Let's say the visitor is on your post page and then they close the pop-up on your post page. When they visit your home page also, they're going to see the pop-up again. So you can either decide to not show the pop-up on the post page again, on the post or any other page they close the pop-up. So let's say they're actually reading a post on your website and then they close the pop-up there. Whenever they visit other posts, they're going to see the pop-up. But when they come back to that post where they closed your pop-up earlier on, they're not going to see the pop-up again. So you can choose that option, which is the first one, or you can either decide to disable the pop-up across all your websites, which I'm not going to recommend. So I'm just going to leave it as this number, as this the last option that says keep showing this pop-up. Now moving on to the next thing, it says additional settings. So page scrolling, do you want them to keep scrolling in the background while the pop-up is visible to the users? So you can either enable it or disable it. And also visibility after opt-in. When you successfully opt in for your newsletter, do you want to keep showing the module or you don't want to show it anymore? But I'm just going to advise you, once they subscribed to your newsletter or they've been converted through your pop-up or your embeds or your sliding, so just kindly disable this pop-up for them across your websites. So you can either choose another date to reset this. So you can reset it after 7 days or 1 month, 2 months, any one that is suitable for you. So moving on to the next thing, we don't really have anything to check here. And then we're done with the settings for this pop-up. So we can click on publish and then our pop-up is going to be published. Alright, so it says we're ready to go. Your pop-up is now published and will start appearing on your website based on the visibility conditions you've defined. So let's check whether it is working. So we're going to visit sites. So the pop-up is supposed to come up immediately. Okay, I think in one of our settings we only made it to come up when we visit our post page only. So let me just paste in one of the links to a post. Okay, so right here we have it. The pop-up came up immediately, and also we made it that if we should scroll to the 90% of the page, it's going to come up also. Now let's keep on scrolling down. All right, so this is the pop-up also, and by the time we also want to cut this page, let's refresh this. By the time we want to cut this page, as you can see, this pop-up is also going to come up. So this is how you can set your pop-ups on your website to receive emails and build up your email list and send out newsletters to your email list subscribers. So let's move on to the next thing. Let's see how we can create slidings, and then from there we create embeds, and finally we create our social sharing. So this is not going to take long. This is the longer part of the tutorial. Other settings look the same, so they don't really look that different. I'm just going to walk you through how you can do it easily, and then we're going to call it a day. So let's move to slidings and let's create our first sliding. Okay, so Slidings can be used to highlight promotions without covering the whole screen. Now let's see how that works. We're going to click on this blue create button here, and we're going to set our name. So we're going to give it a name of new products or something. And for this one, we're not going to be using email opt-in. We're going to be using this informational option. So we're going to select informational, and we're going to click on choose templates. All right, so right now we're going to find the templates to use. I think I'm just going to go with this template. I'm going to click on choose templates. We can just edit these templates easily. Every other thing that we need to talk about has been mentioned in the previous part of the tutorial. So I'm just going to change this title real quick to, and here you can change the featured image, and you can also change this main content. So let's first preview this. All right, so we can see how it looks like on desktop and also how it looks like on mobile. So we can just cut this, and we can just change the main content to something else you want to use. And okay, for the call to action, we're going to use one button because that makes your users have less decision to make, so they know that okay, this is the only button I'm going to use to visit whatever they're trying to promote to me. And you can also decide to add 2 buttons or remove all the buttons, but for this tutorial we're going to use just one button, and we're going to see how we can edit that button too. So the button label can be see products, and then the action can redirect to the product page on a new window, or you can redirect to the product page on the same window, or you can just use the button to close the pop-up. This can be used whenever you just want to show them an information and you don't actually need them to visit any other page on your website. Now the redirect URL can just redirect to something else. For this tutorial I'm going to use my templates website. So there you can get free Elementor templates that I've designed for you to make your website design process a lot more faster, and you can just register for a free account and then download your template for free. Okay, so you can decide to add helper text, which can be placed under the call to action to boost its conversion, but we're not going to use this one for this tutorial. And every other thing looks the same like the previous pop-up we just created. So we're going to move to appearance, and also we're going to leave everything as default. If you want to change anything here, you can just play around with the settings. You can change the text type, and you can change the colors also to fit into your own brand, your own branding. Okay, so next thing we're going to do is to we're just going to move on to the visibility option. And here we're not going to set any rules, we're just going to leave it as it is. Moving on to behavior, sliding trigger, we're going to leave it as default, 3 seconds delay, and we're not going to schedule it. You can just play around with all these settings. I've talked about it earlier in the beginning of this tutorial when we were creating the pop-up, so I don't need to actually repeat what I've said again. Now let's just publish this sliding. All right, so the sliding has been published now, but before we view our website, let's do one thing. Let's go to dashboard, and first of all let me draft this pop-up. So I'm just going to click on this settings icon, and I'm going to unpublish it. Now let's visit our website, and let me refresh this page, and let's wait for 3 seconds. Okay, so we have the sliding here. So whenever they visit your website, they can just see, okay, we have new products available for you to get. Just don't miss this product. You can change this text like I said earlier, and when you click on this button here, it's going to redirect on a new window like we set in the we set this option in the settings, and this is going to redirect to my template store that I mentioned. So this is how you can just create a sliding for your website. Okay, so this is the template store that I added the link, so you can just come here, create an account for yourself, and just pick one out of these templates to download for your website. Now I'm just going to close this page, and also I'm going to just close this pop-up too, sliding. All right, so this is how you can create sliding too. And lastly, let's create embeds. And okay, we're going to create embed, and lastly we're going to create social sharing. So let's create embeds just now. So we're going to click on embeds. All right, so here we're going to click on the blue create button as usual, and here we're just going to use the same option. Let's just say free freebies. Let's limit freebies, and for this one we're going to use informational too, and let's choose templates. So for this templates, we're going to use this COVID-19 templates. You can actually design and customize everything to fit into whatever you want to use it for. It's not necessarily meant for COVID only. So okay, we said we're going to change the title to And also we're just going to leave everything as it is, and we can just change the text to something different. So let me just copy these dummy texts, and let's paste it here. And moving on to the call to action, we can just leave it as one button too. And let's move to appearance. You can customize everything the way you want. Just play around with the settings. This is not like an in-depth tutorial on how to navigate through this plugin. So we can just leave everything as it is. Move to display. You can also set it as, okay, for here we have one option, inline content. So when we click on this inline content, automatically you can set the position for this embed what's it called, embed form right here. So for this tutorial, we're going to use this option that says below, which is the default option. So we're going to use this option, and then we're going to enable these other two options which will allow you to add these embeds as a widgets and also as a shortcode. So when you use this inline content, you actually don't really need to use shortcode unless you want to actually put it on a specified page on your website that you actually use to use the shortcode or the widget option. So we're just going to activate the three of them. We're going to move on to visibility. So we're not going to set any rules here. And lastly, we're going to just, okay, for the shortcode here, it says by default, the shortcode displays your embed wherever you add it. However, you can apply visibility rules on your embed shortcodes for better control. So we can just check this option, although we're not adding any visibility rules. So if you want to add some visibility rules, you can check this option or uncheck it based on how it's going to work well with what you are setting in under your visibility rules. So I think I'm just going to remove this. So far I'm not even using shortcode in this tutorial. I'm just going to be using this inline content. And okay, let me just activate shortcode and let me show you how shortcode works. Now we're going to move to behavior. Okay, under the behavior, you can also schedule the embed and every other thing. So we're just going to leave it as it is, and we're going to click on publish. So by the time we go back to our website, for example, this type of post, and then we refresh, we're going to see the embed right here. And as you can see, because we set this option here that says inline, under the display option that says inline content, that is why it is automatically showing under this post right here. So let's see how we can use widgets and also use shortcode to add this same embed into our post or any page on our website. Now I'm just going to edit this post. So right here, I'm just going to break this. I'm going to just break it right here, and I'm going to search for shortcode. And now I'm going to come back here, copy this shortcode, and I'm going to paste it here. Now let's try to check the widget option too. Now I'm just going to search for also. Okay, now we can pick this embed right here, and then we're going to choose the module name, and we're going to select this one that we want to actually show on our website. Now we're going to wait for it to render. All right, now let's update the page and let's view our posts. So now, as you can see, we have the shortcode one here, we have the widgets one here, and then we have the automatic one that we selected, the inline content right here. This is the one we have at the bottom. So this is how you can create embeds for your website, and then easily refer people to whatever you want them to visit on your website. You can also use this also as a medium to receive emails from your users on your websites. Now lastly, let's see how we can create social sharing. So we're going to click on social sharing now. So here we can make it easy for our visitors to share our content by adding floating or inline social sharing prompts. So we're going to click on create to start creating, and then we're going to give it, and then we're going to click on next. Okay, so here we can decide to enable counter, which is going to show how many times your users have shared a particular post to a particular platform. So right here we can add the platform we want them to be able to share the post to. So I'm going to add platforms here. I'm going to add Facebook. I'm going to add Twitter. You can add any other one that you feel like adding, but for this tutorial I'm going to add Reddit and email. Okay, so let me just use these three because they are the common options always available on every website. So I'm going to add platform. All right, so here you can set the native counter and then the custom URL here, which is optional. So moving on, we're going to check the display option. So we're going to leave everything as default, and we're going to position this floating button here at I think we're going to put it at the left hand side, depending on how your theme is designed. But for my theme, I think it's actually going to fit in well on the left hand side. So okay, let me just close this tab. Now moving on, we can leave everything as it is. So on mobile, I think it's actually going to make sense on mobile to put it at the bottom. All right, now let's keep on checking another option. Now add a social bar inline to your website post and pages, just like how we set for the embeds right now, just now. So we can select this option, and there we can set the position. So I'm going to choose this, both, and then the alignment can either be wherever you want it to be. So for this story, I'm just going to leave it as default, and every other thing looks good. Now click on appearance, and then you can select the icon style and how you want them to appear on your website. So this is how it is. You can also add some inline counter to make the counter text inline to the icon, but you can just leave it as it is so as to, you know, make it look cool. Now you can also decide to, you know, customize the colors right here and play with other settings. For example, these animate icons, when they hover on this icon, is going to add some sort of animation, but I'm not going to add all those fancy stuff. We're just going to leave it as it is. Okay, so let's move on to visibility. And yeah, there's nothing too much to do under these aspects, and let's click on publish. Okay, so it says it is ready to go. Now let's go back to our post and refresh. As you can see right here, we have this floating social sharing bar here, and also we have the inline one that we set here, and also at the bottom right here. So this is how you can also add social sharing to your website. So if somebody wants to share your post now, they can just click on this, and it's going to open up another module where they can share it to their Facebook page. If you also want to share it to Twitter, and as you can see, it has already counted that click as one. So you can also share it to other platform like Twitter also, and you can see you can just click on tweet and it's going to tweet automatically. And by the way, make sure you follow me on all my social media platforms at THEWPBRO. So you can close this page. It has also recorded the the clicks, so this is working as we planned. So yeah, we've come to the end of this tutorial, and I've been able to show you guys how you can add pop-ups to your website to receive emails from your visitors, how you can also add slide-ins to your website to notify people of maybe any promotional offer you have, or even collect emails also. And also I've been able to also teach you how you can create embeds on your website to notify people of any offer you have on your website also, and also probably receive some emails and build up your email list. And finally, I've shown you how to also create this social sharing bar right here to make it easy for people to share your content and also make you reach out to many other people. So if you found value in this video and then you're expecting to see more of this type of video on this channel, make sure you click on the subscribe button and also turn on post notifications, as I'm going to be dropping many informational and educative videos right here. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.